Where do you stand, Danny, on right footers playing on the left and left footers playing on the right? I mean, you always played on the left as a left footer as a fullback. Not Glimpardo in a previous era. Didn't have problems with playing really with either feet. And there have been exceptional players who played on the other side. Is it easier as an attacker? Do you prefer to see your Raheem Sterling on the right with the right foot? Or do you prefer to see a Riyad Mahrez on the right with the left foot cutting in? Do you have a preference on that?
Well, again, the game has evolved now where the quality of players are, either with the right or left foot, that the quality is so high now that you can alternate those players and switch them on either side where, they know they can go down the line, and cross with the opposite foot, or else they can cut inside like Mahrez does and scores with his left foot as well. So I think the way the game has evolved, I think, I'm sort of doing coaching kids here up here in Queensland on the Gold Coast, and I sort of alternate the boys as well that I think that can cut inside, who have got a bit more technique and pace, and sort of have those shots on target as well. So I think it's just I think it's trying to find that balance and that type of football that you want to play. If you want to get that ball down, get the ball wide and get crosses in, put the boys on naturally on their proper side. But if you're mixing it up and you want the boys to cut inside and strike, and again it's preference of the game and the style of game that you want to play against certain teams, that I think Pep Guardiola is probably changing it up against certain teams, which way he wants to play against certain teams. So again, that's just the smartness of a coach and a manager, which way he lines up against certain teams and the players he puts out there as well.
So as a left back, here's a killer question for you, Danny. You're the left back playing against Manchester City. Who do you prefer to see running at you? The right-footed Raheem Sterling or the left-footed Riyad Mahrez?
It's a tough one. It's a really tough. It's they're both a nightmare to defend against. So for me, I try and put him in row Z. To be honest, and I'll probably get sent off quite quickly. But I couldn't even pick between them. You know what I mean? Because again, the pace and the technique of Raheem Sterling is incredible, and also, but just even Mahrez, the way he puts players off balance when he cuts inside and all that. It'd be a disaster actually defending against those two boys running at you. So I couldn't choose between neither of them.
You're sitting on the fence.
Yeah, I am definitely.
I don't blame you, Andy. What do you think? I mean, is Sterling still worth the place in this team? That's your killer question.
I think he does. Quite where I'd play him. Again, that's a question of. I think it's not just about the individual; it's about the team he's playing and what the manager, the coach expects. So, if crosses to the byline are not required, you'd play Raheem on the left side. Similarly for Riyad, but I always remember watching Ian Robin, particularly when he was at Bayern Munich, and we knew exactly what he was going to do. And he was going to use that pace to come in on the left and absolutely whip one in or shoot and score, or just his pace was incredible. So, if you're that good, it doesn't matter. And I think really that's the question of, if you're going to try and play one-trick pony way, you've got to be very good at it. And if you're not exceptional, then you've got to have another string to your bow. You've got to be able to take that, go round the back of the left back and whip one in. So Sterling does have a place, I think, in our starting 11, because I think that he's shown some low points, but overall, he's done really well with his performances over the last few years and scored a lot of goals.
If you're a budding coach now, or let's not call you a budding coach, just a coach, Danny, you must study Pep. I'd be interested to know as well what you think has happened this season. Do you think the fact that Aguero's been injured has forced Pep Guardiola into playing with a false nine, or do you think that is a preferable way to play? I mean, we saw Spain, for example, in the World Cup a few years ago, on the Nations Cup, having fantastic success playing with a false nine. So I just wonder whether, in your opinion, Pep was always going to go in that direction, whether Aguero had been fit or not, or whether this is a result of Aguero not being fit.
Um, I think it might be a result of Aguero probably not being fit and being on, as sharp as he has been over the last few seasons. So I think not that he was forced in that direction, but I think it was probably something at the back of his mind that he was probably looking to alter and change a little bit. And again, I think by not that he was forced to do it, but just Aguero not being fully fit, that he's gone down that way, and it's actually really worked well. So again, sometimes these things, not say call fall on your lap, but yeah, there's something that he's definitely considered, and now it's starting to work out quite well for him.
Quite well. It's working out very well at the moment, isn't it? I mean,
yeah.
It makes it very difficult for the opposition defence to know what to do, frankly, against City, doesn't it? Because the goals are coming from everywhere. My wife said to me the other day, we haven't got one player who's scoring all these goals. And I said, why is that a bad thing? They're coming from everywhere. You never know when they're going to come from, so the opposition can't stop you. And that's surely the total football that Pep talks about, the Johan Cruyff type of football, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think if you're trying to put all your eggs in one basket and say you want Aguero to score the goal, Raheem Sterling to score the goals, you're limiting. But when you've got Sterling, Mahrez, De Bruyne, Foden, when you've got all these other boys who are chipping in, week after week, scoring these goals, you know the team's traveling in the right direction. You're not just counting on one boy to put those goals in the back of net, and that's why I think they've been very dominant over over the last 4 or 5 months now, that everyone's contributed to score goals, and that's why I think City are one of the strongest looking sides about at the moment.
We've talked on the podcast the last couple of weeks about the possibility of this, whether it's likely to happen or not, getting somebody like Haaland to come in. Pep has said that there isn't the money there, and we all understand that budgets have been cut, and we've seen the figures that have come out from City saying that they've made a loss in this particular financial year, and I'm sure that's affecting lots of clubs all around the world. So I'm only going to talk hypothetically here, but if you were Pep and money wasn't the issue, would you be looking for a out-and-out striker like Haaland going into next season, or would you be looking to continue with this false nine and not having a direct point of attack? Because Andy's talked about, perhaps Mendy doesn't know where to play his cross because he hasn't got a point of attack, and you could make the same argument with Sterling if he was playing on the right. So what would your big priority be? To go out and get this perfect striker, whoever it is, who is a specialist striker, or do you carry on playing this way with the false nine?
Yeah, that's a tricky one. Again, as much as Haaland he's dominating now and scoring, week after week, and again, very big, powerful striker. Again, the way the City is playing at the moment, I probably, if it was me, I probably wouldn't. I'm not too sure. Yeah, the way that the team is at the moment, if you were to throw him in there, would you then change your style of football just to accommodate him and just put all your focus again on just him scoring your goals week in, week out, as he is doing at Dortmund, which is phenomenal, and what he's doing. But again, you could bring him in and it could disrupt the style of football that you're trying to produce. And if you, again, like I said, if you just dedicate on that one player scoring your goals and he has a dip in form or he gets injured on you, well, then you have to revert back to looking at a false nine again. So I don't know. My preference would probably continue going the way City's going at the moment.